We are live. What's up, Facebook? What's up, YouTube? We're live in the studio, back for 2024. I've got my buddy Junior in the house. Can you hear me, Junior?
I sure can. How are y'all?
Man, doing good, doing good. It's been a minute since we got to sit down and chat, and I said, man, I'm gonna get it done in 2024. I know I will. And here we are, first episode of 2024. Live with Junior and Up in Smoke Barbecue. YouTube, Facebook, you guys are getting to watch the behind the scenes. We're fixing to hit the intro and we're going to get started. You ready?
Oh yeah, I am.
What's up, guys? Wes the People's Pitmaster back again for another episode of the Smoke Ring Syndicate. It's my weekly barbecue podcast that drops every Wednesday at 5:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. This is the first episode of 2024 of sitting down with Junior Urias Up in Smoke Barbecue out of Early, Texas. Junior, are you there?
I'm right here, bud.
Well, I'm
Live and
right
well.
here. Live and well, man. Live and well. It's good to sit down with you. It's been a minute. I looked all over the place. I was looking for my Junior Urias Day shirt to wear it. I couldn't find it. I know as soon as I go back upstairs, it'll be like hanging up in the center of my closet. I know it's probably framed or something somewhere.
There you go, man. That's awesome. Those were some good times, right? We need to have
They
some more.
were. Absolutely. That's what I kind of ended 2023 with Harry. I don't know if you saw that episode or not, but he and I were kind of conspiring to come out and cook some hogs with you,
Yeah,
hopefully for
absolutely.
24.
Yeah.
So, for the folks that don't know you, introduce yourself, and we're gonna go through the early junior and right up into modern day.
All right. Hey guys, Junior Urias here. I've been cooking for a long time, professionally, not professional, and professionally over the years. And it's been fun. I competed for quite some time in Texas and all throughout the United States, and that's been fun and encouraging and such an awesome experience. But now I've also ventured off into barbecue restaurant seasonings. Anything that has to do with barbecue. I've been
Yeah.
doing some of that stuff. So.
All right. Cool, cool. So, talk to me about what started Junior in barbecue. Did you grow up with it? What got you? What led you down the barbecue path that turned into what it's turned into? What was the early days? Were you in, butchering meat somewhere? Were you, a painter? What were you doing before barbecue? And what kind of sparked your interest in barbecue?
It goes back to when I was around 12, 13 years old, Wes. We used to go to these camp meetings down in Fort Davis, and we used to cook for, in our particular camp, there's like 8 or 9 different camps, but in our particular camp, we would cook about 5 to 600 meals every day, breakfast, lunch, and dinner for these people. And you know, everything was cooked outdoors, open fires, no electricity whatsoever. Is We're cooking underneath big awnings, big sheds. I mean, underneath big, beautiful live oak trees. I mean,
Hmm.
the setting is unreal. And if you get a chance, I would love to take you out there one year so you can experience what I experienced. But
Yeah.
anyways, we got to cook for all these folks on a daily basis. Of course, I didn't start cooking. I didn't have any interest in it. I didn't have no knowledge in it. I was a dishwasher. I pick up plates. You do all the bad stuff first,
Yeah.
right? The stuff that
Yeah.
nobody else wants to do. So I really didn't feel it then. It was just over the years we're doing this. So I did this since I was 12. We're doing this particular camp
Yeah.
meeting up until I was almost 40 years old. So over the years, of course, you progress, you get better, you want to learn more. You start cooking meats, you start learning from all these guys that are at these camps, and typically we would have about 6 or 7 men that would
Hmm.
cook at these camps. And man, I got general knowledge from all these guys over the entire years that I've been doing it. I mean, it's just a beautiful experience. So
Yeah.
my dad used to do all the biscuits. He was a biscuit guy, so he would cook. I mean, tons and tons of biscuits, and
Yeah.
man, that was just some of the best biscuits in the world. And you get to experience all this stuff from all these different men with different cooking skills, different ways of you know smoking meats over live fire. And also we had some somewhat made up smokers that
Yeah.
anyways, we would cook and all that, and man, it was fun to learn. So I think you can honestly say that's kind of where I got the experience, and some of the
Yeah.
experience and the wants to continue, on my
Yeah.
cooking venture.
Yeah. So, I mean, did you have, like, what were you doing full time before you started competing, which led into you going and doing the shows and all that fun stuff that really blossomed into what you turned it into?
So on and off, I've been in different jobs, of course. One was I used to work at a feed store a long time ago. We worked at a feed store. I also did I was a electrician apprentice, I guess, for a
Hmm.
while. I did that for a bit, but I was afraid of heights, so I couldn't continue to do that. So we moved on and got me more jobs, but there's other jobs in and out. But one of my last ones before I started really cooking was I was a body shop. What is it? I was assistant manager to a body shop.
Hmm.
So that was fun. And I remember I used to take my pit out there and cook while we're working because I had caterings and stuff. So that's how kind
Yeah.
of honestly how it all started.
Yeah. So, and you started competing. What year did you start competing, like on a professional level or in a competitive setting, I guess?
So the competition for me started about 2007, 2008. And
Hmm.
we used to go all these local cook-offs, of course. You always start at the local cook-offs. And honestly, I had no interest of winning. I had no interest of man, I want to be a barbecue competition cook. It was just going out
Yeah.
there having a good time, drinking beer with all my friends and family, and
Yeah.
man, we'd enter the cook-off just to enter a cook-off and have a good time. There was nothing
Yeah.
more. It was all
Yeah.
about having a good time, and we did. We always had a good
Yeah.
time, and I so happened to win here and there, and everybody that tried my food would always say, "Man, you need to do this as a living. You need to continue cooking. You need to open a restaurant." And of course,
Yeah.
at the time, you're not thinking about all this. You're just kind of like just enjoying the moment.
Yeah.
So,
So, and then you got casted. And what seasons? Season five, right?
season 5. Well, there's several seasons. We did
Yeah.
5, 6, and 7. I think we did 4 different episodes of Barbecue Pitmasters.
Hmm.
But leading up to Barbecue Pit Masters over the years, from doing the cook-offs, I started getting better. I started really pushing to be a better competitor, and I
Yeah.
started going away from my local cook-offs and traveling all over the United States to compete. And we'd compete in the GBA. We did 1 or 2 for the GBA. We even did
Hmm.
a FBA. I also did IBCA and
Yeah.
KCBS. And at the time, there was not a lot of people from Texas branching off and going to do some of these KCBS events and stuff like that. So
Yeah.
I can honestly say I was one of the few Texas boys at the time that was really traveling and in some of these
Yeah.
different cook sanctioning events.
Yeah.
And then, of course, you continue to cook and you start getting better. It starts getting a little bit more serious, better cookers, better stuff, and
Yeah.
in that time frame, I also created my seasonings, my Junior's Rub for Grub seasonings, and
Okay. So it's kind of a
that's
simultaneous thing.
so it just all just started coming together slowly and over the
Yeah.
years.
Yeah. Did you think, maybe I'll just cater barbecue, or did you think, well, I'll start selling my seasoning and keep it, and just do rubs and seasoning, or was it kind of I'll do both?
That's a good story, man. So the seasonings were never intentional to
Hmm.
even sell to the market. It was always for me. I always
Yeah,
wanted something for myself at these cook-offs to be different from everybody else.
yeah,
And they just kind of took off on their own. I was winning with them.
yeah,
I mean, I was going to these cook-offs. I was kicking ass and taking names. Literally, people were
yeah,
like, "Man, what are you doing?" I'm like, "Man, I don't know. I got my seasonings and I'm doing this and that." And
yeah,
that's where my seasoning started coming in. And at the time, it was only one seasoning. It was that the Junior's original, and
yeah.
so it started taking off, and people were buying it at the cook-offs. I mean, I had
Yeah.
bags of it, and I was just pouring
Oh yeah.
bags into
Yeah.
people's
I remember.
containers and stuff.
Yeah. Oh,
But
I
yeah,
remember seeing folks go, and where was I was at a GBA contest, and I won't say who it is just in case he still uses it, but I run up on a guy and it's a friend of mine chatting, and he said, "Yeah, I'm fixing to do my ribs," and he pulls out a gallon Ziploc gallon bag, and I said, "What the hell is that?" And he said, "Man, that's my secret weapon." He said, "A junior sends it to me." I said, "In a bag like that?" He says, "Well, yeah."
yeah,
This was like
yeah,
super early on, you know,
right.
and I'll never forget. I was like, I mean, I guess it just comes in a gallon Ziploc bag.
Dude, like I said, it was never meant to be used by anyone else. But the
Yeah,
demand was there, and
yeah,
man, Wes, I wish if I could go back at that particular moment in time, I wish I would have
hmm,
made my seasonings my business then. I mean, honestly, without doing catering, without doing restaurants, I should have just
yeah,
ran with my seasonings and made a huge business out of it. But
yeah,
it was never meant to be a business. It was never meant to be anything else than me using it at cook-offs, and
yeah,
it just slowly grew like that. But
yeah. It's kind of an organic thing. It was meant to
slowly,
be for you to have both of them. So we get all the legwork done, and then kind of pitmasters, barbecue pitmasters comes in. Barbecue pitmasters comes in and kind of goes, "Hey, look at this guy in Texas. He's pretty awesome." And you've kind of already been doing what they're, kind of showcasing you on, and uh, come back to Midland, Texas, and you've got the barbecue restaurant. When did you start the restaurant itself? Because that was something you built like from the ground up, right?
correct. Honestly, we were catering in Midland.
Hmm.
We were just doing caterings. I didn't even have a restaurant at the time.
You didn't have before the
I
the show.
no, I was doing a bunch of caterings, and that's all we were doing. I was having 2 to 3 caterings per day at that particular time. The oil industry was popping, and it still is. At
Yeah,
that particular moment, we were just strictly doing caterings, and I honestly wish I could just continue to just do that, but sometimes it just doesn't work like that.
yeah. There's one of your early on, Mike Rudensky with his. He got him a gallon bag.
There you
A,
go. That's
a
awesome.
sim a simpler time, huh?
It was, dude. It was.
And Mike,
Uh,
thanks for stopping by, man.
Thanks,
Um,
Mike.
so
Appreciate it.
so we've got the rub for grub, the original. You've got just the 2 lines or 3 lines.
I got the 2 lines. The
Okay.
juniors original, which there's not one guy in the competition circuit that, if they weren't serious, I mean, that used it. I mean, every guy in the competition circuit at one point of their career in the competition circuit used that
Yeah.
rub, and they won
Yeah.
with it. I mean,
Yeah.
it's one of the best, and I'll argue with anybody that it's one of the
Oh
best
yeah.
seasonings out there.
Oh yeah. 100%.
Yeah,
And it's unique too. Like it's a Texas it's a Texasy style rub, but it's still very, very, very unique.
Very
Um,
unique.
so you had the catering, and I mean, you're at that point three caterings a day. I mean, the your hair's on fire when you're running at that speed. Um, and you just needed a home base, or what encouraged you to just put a brick and mortar up in Midland?
Um, all that came about slowly as well. It was all organic. You know, I never had a lot of money to be able to, man, just open up a restaurant or, man, I'm going to do
Hmm.
this and that. I just never did. Uh, so we did a catering trailer. We had a catering trailer, and that's the majority of where we did all our cooking. That
Yeah.
catering trailer went to, I created a kitchen in my backyard because we're running so much volume that I needed to keep up. And
Hmm.
so it went from the catering trailer to a kitchen assisting the catering trailer. And
Hmm.
then, I mean, we're having people left and right come in and pick up orders at my house, my residential
Yeah.
house. It was
Yeah.
insane, dude. It was crazy. It was like madness.
Yeah.
Still to this day, I look back. Uh, things a lot of things has changed since.
Yeah.
I don't run them numbers no more. I don't do all them caters no more. I wish I still did, but
Yeah.
uh, dude, it was crazy. So at that particular time, I was like, I need to open a restaurant. I have to. I need more
Yeah.
space. I need more room. I need more help. And just once again, it organically just happened. We opened the Midland location. Something not real big, something small, and
Yeah.
we only opened Friday and Saturday. And between them 2 days, we ran some good numbers, or just opening
Yeah.
2 days,
Yeah.
and it was from 11 till 3 o'clock every day,
Yeah.
every Friday and Saturday. And you know, we were doing real good. Everything was going well, and then of course that's when the the COVID era hit, and man,
Hmm.
it almost demolished us. It almost took us out. But
Yeah.
being in business as long as I have, and then being able to change on a spur of the moment, I was able to pick up on to go orders and stuff like that. Revamp my entire
Yeah.
menu and create a what's it called, touchless ordering type system at that
Yeah.
particular time to continue to move on.
Yeah. Well, I
But
mean, and it's almost like you kind of went back to your roots because you're catering, but you're individual catering at that point, right? A
yeah,
little.
absolutely. It was kind of like I was backtracking,
Yeah.
but we're forced to. We had to.
Yeah.
Um, so and then
So go ahead.
no, so I mean that we had to do that, and in that time frame, that's when we bought some property here in the Brownwood early Texas
Mhm.
area, and we're coming back and forth, and well, we're like, wow, this is a nice area. We probably ought to sell everything here in Midland and move. And sure
Yeah.
enough, that's what we did.
Yeah. So we'll kind of table the move. I wanted to talk about how you and I linked up with Junior Urias Day, like your holiday. Um,
Yeah.
when when did that come about? And do you still do the Junior Urias Day celebrations in early?
Good. I'm glad you mentioned that. So Junior Urias Day started with when we were on Barbecue Pit Masters. The first year we hosted a party, huge, what was it, a viewing party at my house. The mayor
Mm-hmm.
was invited, and of course, a bunch of people were invited. So we had a party at my house, and that same night, the mayor of Midland at the time dedicated Junior yesterday, June 16th,
Hmm.
and we've been having parties since. But
Yeah.
since I've moved here in early, it's a little different. I haven't had any parties, so maybe I can get the mayor of early to make transfer something. Maybe I don't know,
Yeah.
but if
Well,
that happens, we can.
yeah, you got to get the Midland mayor and the early mayor, sit them down with a with some of the brisket and sausage, maybe a
Yeah,
couple of pork and moose sandwiches, and get it ironed
yeah.
out for you, man.
There you go.
Yeah.
That'd be good.
So we've got to get Junior Urias Day back on the back on the map there and early, so we can do the massive parties. And whenever this goes out, I'll probably share some of the old photos, and I may have a couple of videos as well when Harry and I were hanging out with you. I think it was 19. I think it was right before COVID, 18 or 19,
Yeah, it was
and
18, 19.
yeah, somewhere in that neighborhood. I don't remember exactly when, but it's a good time. It's definitely got to come back around.
It
So
was.
you you sold the place in Midland. Is somebody still operating out of that place?
Yeah, actually, it was funny you say this. Is so when I bought that property and I built the building, there's surrounding property around me, and I was like, man, one of these days that could eventually
Yeah,
be up in smoke as well.
yeah,
You got this mindset to want to grow and expand and stuff like that. Uh, Going back when I built this building, I made it purposely to be able to expand to it.
hmm,
Because of course, once again, I've done everything out of my pocket. I've never had investors. I've never went
yeah,
into that field. So I invited. Actually, I told a person. He's John Scarborough. They're in Midland with Midland Meat Company
hmm,
to purchase that property, and it'll be good for him and stuff like that. And he did. He bought that property, and he once he did that, I already knew for whatever reason, if I ever needed to get out of my restaurant or sell my restaurant or do anything with it, I already had him as a buyer.
yeah,
And sure enough, when we decided to move and sell everything there, he ended up buying my building, and now
yeah.
he is still currently running barbecue out of there.
Oh, awesome. So
Yeah,
he's got the a little bit of mojo in the building there because I know you guys had the oiler. I can't believe you left the oiler behind.
it was
That
part of
was
the
kind of,
building.
yeah. Well, I mean, you guys put the oiler in before you put the walls up, right? That was
Absolutely,
like the first thing, and it was built around the cooker itself, right?
absolutely, man. That was an awesome machine. The
Yeah,
J and
I
R
had,
J and R.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, J&R Oiler.
yep.
That's you don't see too many pits like that. Not out in the
Well,
wild, anyways.
no, you don't. And there's some of the best smokers out there. I mean, bar none, some of the best.
Yeah. So we're moving to early. We're moving to early, and you're building another restaurant. So building a second restaurant in your career, and this time we've built a little bit bigger space. Yeah, with the market and the restaurant itself, right?
Right. So when we moved to early, I mean, dude, we COVID hit. We're trying to get away from Midland and everything that was happening, and there's just a lot on our minds. So when we came to early, I had to bring my trailer. I had to
Hmm.
backtrack, start cooking again, just like back in this day, out of my trailer and serving food out of it. And then
Yeah.
I did that while my building was getting built, and I was trying to get circulation of letting people know we're in the area and we're
Hmm.
here to build a barbecue restaurant, and we did. The meat market came about in the middle of the entire build of the restaurant, and the
Okay.
reason and the reason for that was it was very hard for us to get good quality steaks. This area's not very populated. It's populated, but it's a small area. It's not.
Yeah.
You got to go Dallas Fort Worth, which is 2 hours away. Abilene, an hour and a half away. Some of the other big cities are about 2 hours away. So,
Yeah.
anyways, it's hard for me to get good quality steaks. I was thinking, man, it's got to be hard for somebody else to be able to get steaks as well. So
Yeah.
we decided to do the meat market next to the restaurant, and that's how that came about.
So
And it's
so mid drawing, you're like, let's build a whole separate business. That's a great
That's it.
idea.
Yeah, that's exactly what we did. I don't know if it's the best idea, but we did it, we created it, and it's going good. You know.
Yeah, yeah. I've yet to I have yet to be able to come out and check it out. It's in my planner. I promise, man. So you built a full-on restaurant and the full-on meat market. You've got your sausages and all that sort of fun stuff. And it looks like there's several more flavors of sausage that I didn't get to try when I was in Texas. Um, or is there any thought of making that available, like across this, across the U.S., or it's just going to be a you got to come see me, you got to go through me type stuff?
I have lots of plans, Wes. I always have plans, man. I always want to do things. Of course, I'm not a rich man by no means, and I think that a lot of that's what stalls me is the ability to be able to do a lot of this stuff with because of money.
Yeah.
Uh, it's hard. It really is. So the sausages, man, we're making some killer sausages, and I'm gonna go backtrack a little bit because it's a big deal. Uh, these sausages that we're making, I struggled with them. I started them 6 years ago, but they weren't right. They weren't. They needed better texture. They needed a better snap. They needed better flavor. The
Hmm.
So in the 6 years period, I gave up like 3 or 4 times
Hmm.
trying to figure out the recipe for all this stuff, and you know I gave up and I try again. I'd give up. I try again. I give up. I try
Hmm.
again. This past year, um, and I'm gonna. The sausages weren't bad. They were real good, good flavor. Just
Yeah.
there's a
I
few
say I
things
had
that need to be modified.
yeah.
You've
Well, I
had
say
them.
I don't. I had them in and I I'd have took my body weight in them at the time. They were awesome.
Yeah. So now, I mean, I feel like we've really nailed the recipes. The texture's good. The amount of fat and meat content's perfect. The flavor is right. I think I got a good quality sausage that is very good. And just like the seasonings,
Hmm.
I get so in tune with all this until I get it to where I know it's perfect and right, and hopefully I want to organically grow it. We got people
Yeah.
that want it, want me to ship it and stuff like that, but that's next level stuff.
Yeah.
I would love to do that, and I think I don't see why we couldn't do it in the future.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so you got the meat market already. If you can figure out the packaging and how they how the big sausage guys do it. I mean, you're already there. You got the recipe down. You just got to figure out how to get it to me in
Yeah.
particular, just me.
Well, yeah. Well, dude. That's another thing. Shipping, man. It's so
Yeah.
outrageous. It's unreal.
Yeah.
Uh, but it's not to say it's not possible. And then, man, I hate to say it, but money is a big factor with all this. You
Yeah.
had to have money to be able to do any of it. As far as trying to find good boxes to be able to pack them and ship them.
Hmm.
Uh, the research for all of it is there's just a lot of it, but it's always money. It's
Yeah.
always been money for me. You know, and
Yeah.
still on my day to day operation. We don't make a lot of money. We make an awesome living, but we struggle from time to time, and
Mhm.
I'm not afraid to admit it. I'm not.
Yeah.
Moving to a new location and opening a restaurant. Who would do that? Who would open a meat market in the middle of Central Texas where there's cattle in everybody's backyard? I mean, that's
Yeah.
ridiculous. Why would I do that? But I
Yeah.
did. I shouldn't
Yeah.
even be in business, man, but I am. It's just, it's the way it goes sometimes.
Yeah. So So you got the meat market up and running, you got the restaurant up and running, and you guys have got indoor seating at this restaurant, right? Maybe because we didn't have indoor seating at the other place, it was all the picnic tables and like community seating, right? Um,
Correct.
what made you go that way as opposed to a mirror of what you had before?
So the location here, it's basically almost a mirror of what I had in Midland, with a little bit of the seating area. The
Okay.
We're gonna have more seating area, but of course, like I said, we created the meat market. That was gonna be
Hmm.
part of the restaurant. But
Oh, okay.
I felt that we needed the meat market, and you know, the indoor seating. I felt like we needed it too. So it's not much bigger than my old restaurant, but it's an improvement.
Okay. So
Yeah,
so I mean, it was kind of like, you know what, we're going to build a massive restaurant, and instead now you've got two businesses out of it. Um,
correct,
you're going to pull all of your hair out, right?
dude. Absolutely, absolutely. But it's good because the restaurant and the meat market work hand in hand. I
Yeah.
technically, you know, I, I get meat from the meat market, sell it at my restaurant, smoke it and sell it.
Hmm.
So they both work hand in hand. Uh, it's I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking when I did it. It's just sometimes I
Yeah.
do things spur of the moment, and honestly, sometimes that's the only way to do it. You do things
Yeah.
spur of the moment, hoping and praying that it's going to work, and it's either going to work or it's not. And thank
Yeah.
the Lord that we're still in operation by
Yeah.
the decision that I made.
Yeah. I mean, it seems to have worked. And I mean, who knows where you go from here? You may end up with a sausage business. Um, so we've got no Junior Rice Day technically on the board. Can we plan a party?
Yes, let's plan a party, man, this summer. We'll cook a couple of whole hogs. Uh, and when I say whole hogs, I'm not talking about little
Mm,
piglets that these people
no, I
think they're cooking. I'm talking about 180-pound
yeah,
good
I see.
hogs.
Yeah, I remember going to get the one that you cooked for the holiday up in Midland. That was a good sized old boy in the back.
Yeah, it was right, and very good. Yeah.
Yeah,
So yeah, let's do. Yeah, we need a plan. So midsummer maybe we need to have
yeah,
a whole hog day or a junior Urias day. You know what? We'll just create it. I'll talk to the mayor here in Midland. I mean, here in Early, and we'll see what we can do. And man, maybe we'll have the official day again, and
yeah,
we'll just host another party. That sounds good. And
yeah,
invite a bunch of different pet masters and help me cook different things like we did in Midland.
yeah. Well, I said when I was talking to Harry. He's like, "Oh, we'll do this style pig and this style pig," and I'm like, "You're gonna have to have a big old party." I don't know that Midland is that. There's enough people in Early rather. I don't know if there's enough people in Early to eat three or four hogs. I don't know if there's that many people.
There is. They love hogs. They love to
Yeah,
eat around here.
yeah, that's a good problem to have.
It is. But yeah, I think we need to do that. I think it'll be good and fun. And I encourage all other pit masters to come out and help us. And man, you can do your own twist of whatever you want. Just like we did in Midland. I think we'll do
Yeah,
that and start creating a new year every year, once annual, I guess, annual
yeah,
party. I think that'll be fun.
yeah.
But you better get
Oh
down
yeah,
here.
yeah. Well, I don't know if I'm riding my Harley again because if you guys got like real hot weather. I remember pulling up in the drive on the Harley, and I think it was like 110, and I was like, this was a really foolish idea.
Dude, it was hot. Absolutely.
Yeah, it
Maybe we
was.
can make it in the fall, getting close into the fall area. Maybe. I
Yeah,
don't know. We'll see.
eh,
We'll talk about
we'll
it.
we'll we'll hammer it out, right?
Yeah, we'll
Uh,
hammer it out.
Mike says you should just become the mayor of Early and just get it taken care of.
Dude, that sounds like a good idea. Yeah,
Yeah,
man. You never know what might happen, right? I could
yeah.
become a
The
mayor.
the mayor, the meat mayor.
The meat mayor of Early Texas. Yeah, that would be
There you
good.
go.
Yeah,
So the family good?
everybody's good. Yeah, they're they're out of town at the moment, and I've been here for about a week by myself, and running in between the restaurant and just enjoying my days off. It's been nice.
Yeah. So do you have like, I mean, how many staff do you think you've got now compared to what you had in Midland?
I had about the same. I still have about the same. Let me see. There's we probably got 8, 9
Okay.
employees here.
Okay. So nothing,
Yeah,
nothing crazy bigger.
nothing crazy. No.
No.
Uh, but you got to understand, Wes, our kitchen is very efficient,
Yeah.
and you got to see it. It's
Yeah.
very efficient. We're running good numbers, and man, we can run a lot of people in a small amount of time and still keep the
Yeah.
quality of the food. I mean, we're slicing and cutting right as you order, so the
Yeah.
quality is there.
Did
We
did you
just,
did you take the butcher block with you, or did you leave it at the old restaurant?
oh yeah, it's here, man. We brought it.
Is it
Yeah.
awesome?
So,
What?
I mean, it's just the way I created my entire restaurant, the system, the layout. It was it was created because I was shorthanded always, So
Hmm.
I had to create a nice flow system that it was easily worked with 2 or 3 people.
Yeah.
So now, I just carry on the entire idea. I'm still doing that, and it runs good.
So if you could go back and say, Junior, let's do it this way, what would you have done from the beginning with the barbecue? I mean, do you think you would have just gone the same route, or I mean, do you think it? What do you think? I mean, if you didn't do barbecue, which I'm trying to think what I'm thinking to say, how I'm thinking to say it. How would you have structured your business the way it is structured now? I guess I could say.
Okay, so if I had the chance, the opportunity to start all over and go back, I think once again I would have, if I knew the seasonings and the rubs, I never look at it as a mandatory business. It's always a secondary business, and sometimes
Hmm.
not even that. Uh, I wish I would have ran with the rubs and seasonings and pushed it super hard, because when I was
Hmm.
making seasonings, there was that not that many other than corporate type companies that are making seasonings. Now it
Hmm.
seems like everybody in the world's got seasonings that they make, uh, and some of them good, some of them are just copies of other ones.
Yeah.
Mine's one of the OG seasonings that is still out there. It's still winning. It's still good. I wish I would have ran with that. I wish I would have looked at it as a big business and just took off with it. Back in the day, and got some help, got some assistance with money or some backers to be able to do it.
Hmm.
Even with the restaurant, I wish I would have from the get go. I wish I would have got some financial assistance with it all to be able to build the restaurant the way I wanted it, to have the
Hmm.
seating that I wanted. Um, I lost a lot of time, you know, building restaurants and doing all this, and then building them with the budget. It was hard, man.
Hmm.
It's very tough.
Yeah.
And but you live and learn. um, that happened like that for me for a reason. I don't know why, but
Yeah.
that's the way it worked out. And if anybody's out there is really willing to want to get into the restaurant world and stuff like that, don't get into the barbecue one. Man, go work somewhere else. Just go work somewhere, man, and make an awesome living. Work for, yeah. So, anyways, but if you do really do want to cook, man, and really want to own a restaurant and you want to do all that, you know, if you can keep it simple, keep it simple. If not, expand and get some financial aid and financial help and build the restaurant that you want, and make sure you make some good money, make a good living
Yeah.
for yourself.
Yeah.
But I know the restaurant world, it seemed like not just with barbecue, but all over is suffering from ever since COVID. It
Hmm.
seems like we've never really bounced back officially. It just, I don't know. It's very strange to me.
Yeah,
But anyways, we're gonna survive, right?
absolutely.
Hmm.
Um, so looking forward to looking forward to 2024, 2025. You're going to keep the restaurant, the meat market. Are we looking at doing classes? Any upcoming classes or shows or anything like that that you can talk about?
So, dude, I always talk to Myron, and I always tell him, okay, Myron, we need to get barbecue pit masters, and we need to do a barbecue pit masters reunion, and
Hmm.
bring all the pit masters that were on the original shows, come back and do a cook off now and then type scenario. And
Yeah,
dude, we got to do that. I think that would be a
yeah.
good show, man.
Oh,
So,
100%.
if we can get anybody on Netflix, or somebody to potentially do that, and dude, I think that would be one of the best shows in the world.
Yeah,
Prior to the original ones. I mean, there's
yeah.
still reruns on some of the barbecue pitmaster shows,
Oh,
but
I still find myself like if I'm flipping through and see Pit Masters or up in the Smoked show or any of the barbecue shows, I got to stop and watch them. It's they're addictive to me, and I think they did a lot for barbecue.
I agree. I think it was ground zero for a lot of these cooking shows. And I tell you what, there's no other show. Even still, the ones showing right now, there's no other show that's been better in barbecue pitmasters. I hate to say it,
Yeah,
but there's not. Barbecue
yeah,
pitmasters like the epitome of all barbecue style cooking shows, and it still is. So I
yeah,
think we need to come in with fresh stuff and do a barbecue pit masters reunion,
yeah,
and bring up everybody that can. I don't know if everybody's still rocking and rolling, but I mean, we can still do
yeah.
another show.
Well, and or even you could take everybody like you're running a restaurant now. And Myron's doing everything that Myron's doing, and Mo's doing everything that Mo's doing. Take all of y'all, throw you back in the competition,
Yeah,
but with the same setup that you had in the beginning,
yeah,
right?
yeah,
You,
absolutely.
you, you got Harry with his tents and his van, which I think he still got the van. So I mean, Harry's still got his van, and I'm sure he could probably still put it together in his sleep.
Yeah, he probably could. He's awesome, man. He really is.
Yeah,
And there's just a lot of awesome cooks out there. There really is. There's a lot of good cooks, a lot of experience with all this social media and the YouTube channels, TikTok. I mean, dude, you can learn a lot just from watching a lot of these shows now.
yeah,
Uh, but as far as me going on into the future, yeah, I think there's I've been talking with a particular person, some investing. They want
hmm
to take Up and Smoke to a whole new level, and I might consider it. Might consider
yeah,
that. Of course, the sausage is going to be part of the program, the seasonings and all of it. It's small talk right now, but
yeah,
who knows, man? I don't want to go any further other than that because
yeah,
it's not for sure yet.
yeah. Well, it's there's opportunities on the horizon, right?
Absolutely, man. I always like
Well,
keeping my book open.
yeah,
If it's a good business idea and good deal, I'll jump into it, man. I'm not afraid to fail whatsoever. I mean,
mhm,
you have to. Sometimes it's scary, and just jump in there, man. Do it. What's the worst case scenario? Is you either make or you
yeah,
won't, right?
yeah. I mean, it either happens or it don't. Um, I'm having a heck of a time with my headphones today.
Hmm.
Um, so, man, I appreciate you hanging out with me. Anything else new, barbecue related, or or otherwise in Junior's life?
Dude, we got some bad ass barbecue smokers. It's a Junior Urias Texas edition. Frank Cox
Hmm.
helped me. He designed and catted my design, and as a matter of fact, you can buy the designs from him. But I want to have a few of my smokers in my future restaurants, or even for my barbecue classes. I got a bunch of barbecue classes coming up,
Hmm.
so hopefully by late this summer, I'll have some of my smokers ready to go. So
Okay. So, so let's throw making a smoker in too, right?
absolutely, man. Just do get involved in everything, right?
Yeah, I say you and Harry do not slow down.
No,
And
no.
uh, now that Harry's retired, he's even more like all over everything.
Right,
Um,
right.
I mean, he's literally all over the place. There's uh there's no quitting him at all.
No, there's not. He's an awesome guy, dude. I miss Harry. Harry, I see you out there. If you are, I miss you, brother. We need this coming year. We'll have some more up and smoke juniorius days and pitmaster
Yep,
days coming up.
yep. We absolutely got to get it done. Um, and I don't mind being his roommate again.
Right, that's good.
Yeah. So
Yeah,
I mean, we're super comfortable accommodations, if I do say so myself.
it was. That was one of my big barbecue trailers that I had.
Yeah,
Y'all slept in, right? Y'all slept in that? Yeah.
yeah. We slept in the camper, or the fifth wheel or whatever it was.
Oh, that's right.
Um,
That's right. Yeah, yeah,
yeah, that was that's probably one of the honestly that's probably one of my highlights of my barbecue stuff is getting to hang out with y'all. And literally, I'm like, oh yeah, Harry, he was my roommate.
yeah. There you go. He's a
So
good. Yeah, it is. It is a fun time, and I can't wait to have some more. Okay.
yeah, absolutely. Guys, if you want to ask any questions, go ahead and get them in for the last few minutes questions. We're gonna wrap this up here. This is obviously the behind the scenes, so there's a little cut and edit in here and there. Junior, I'm building a cookbook this year with all of the guests that I have on my podcast. Off the top of your head, give me a something that speaks to you as a dish that it's close to your heart, whether it reminds you of the holidays or it's just something that you learned to cook from friends or family. Give it to me.
Man, there's a lot out there, but one particular recipe that I like that we make that's very good is the pork belly. We got some of the best pork belly out there. It's not burn in pork belly. It's not barbecue sauce poured over type pork belly, but it's just old school, just awesome smoked pork belly. And I think that would be a heck of a recipe to put in there.
Okay. Well, lay it out for me. Can you
All
lay it
right.
out for me?
Like right now.
Yeah.
Well, it's just I
Look,
tell you
look,
what, man.
you're the
Once
you're the first victim here. You're the first victim. I'm doing this to every single person this year. Is
yeah.
at the end of it, the end of the show, I'm going to be like, hit me with a recipe.
All
It's going
right.
to be shooting from the hip. It's going to be little clips of your recipe. Like I said, it can be a food recipe like that. It can be a dish that you do for
Yeah.
Christmas or Thanksgiving or Hanukkah or whatever you want to do.
Okay. Okay. Maybe it's not pork belly then. Maybe it's something.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Uh,
that's a little more proprietary. I've had
yeah.
that,
Yeah.
and I
Okay.
don't know
That's
that you
why.
want to share that.
Well, I don't know, man. Maybe some asado, but dude, some of these recipes, man, you can't do it by the recipe. Some like
Hmm.
so when I'm talking about asado is like the pork meat cooked in red New Mexico chilies.
Hmm.
You can't write that shit on paper, man. You got to watch the craft being done.
Yeah,
It's just like barbecue. Some of this stuff, people say, "Well, give me the recipe of the barbecue." I'm like, dude, you don't learn it by
yeah.
reading it. You learn it by actually
Well,
doing it.
Yeah, well, and I kind of cook the same way. It's kind of like you season it until your ancestors tell you that's enough.
Yeah.
Um, and just spitball it if you can. If you can, if not, we'll do it later on. But I'm gonna do the same thing to everybody. I'm just gonna throw a punch at the end.
All right. All right. So the red chili, what you do is get a pork butt. You start cutting into cube sized pieces. You put it in a big cauldron, and when I make it, I make quite a bit. You put it in a big cauldron. You run water until the meat starts breaking down the fat. The fat renders down and turns into grease. Once you get it almost tender, you grind some red chili pods and cook it just kind of like enchilada sauce.
Hmm.
You cook it, you water it. It's not like that. It's once again, it's harder for me to explain than actually doing it. But
Yeah.
anyways, you get the red chili pods, you put them in the water, you boil them, break them down, you grind them, you season the chili, then you put that chili into the pork meat,
Hmm.
and you just start cooking till it gets tender, and it
Hmm.
all joins together. Throw a little bit of flour at the end. Bam, get some tortillas. Ooh, sheesh. That's one of the best recipes in the world, man. You're
Okay.
gonna have to. I'm gonna have to cook it for you next time you're here.
Yeah.
You.
Well, I still, a matter of fact, we were talking. I've got a rep that comes into my store, and he's a Mexican guy, and he's like, "Oh yeah," he said, "I had this and this," and I'm like, "Man, I still the best Mexican dish I've ever had." I was out in Texas with Junior. He takes me. We're going to get breakfast, and we pull up to like a little Mexican grocery store. We walk in. It's a grocery store. We walk through the back. We walk through the back out, and it turns into a restaurant. It's like just a couple of little tables or whatever. And I said, I've never had it for breakfast. What do I do? And you're like, chilaquiles with an egg. I said, same for me.
Yep, that was good, right? I remember that.
It was still probably one of the highlight meals that I've had in
There you go.
life.
That's what it's all about. So
So
here in Early, I got a few places that we need to go to, and there's awesome places around here. So next time you're here, we'll have to go venture off and enjoy some good food.
absolutely, man. Well, we'll cut the feed from here. Junior, man, I appreciate you hanging out with me. Hit me with your socials, and we'll wrap this thing up.
All right, awesome, man. You can find me Junior Urias. Just go on uh, Yahoo or one of them. Just type in Junior Urias Barbecue, and it'll bring you up to all my social media accounts. And that's basically it. Junior loves
Thanks,
you.
Mo. Thanks, buddy.
You bet.
Guys, if you've enjoyed this week's episode, we would appreciate a review, a like, a share, and as always, keep smoking.